ever watch your own video back and think, something just feels off? Well, you're not alone, and I promise we can actually fix this really fast. Most entrepreneurs actually make the same 5 mistakes that make their video feel more amateurish and less professional. So let's go through and fix them one by one in less than 5 minutes. Mistake number 1 is audio. A lot of people don't even use a mic, and so they're getting audio directly from their camera, which will sound like this. As you can tell, getting audio just from your camera sounds like garbage. So let's plug back in our wireless mic. But then some people have a nice wireless mic, but they don't place it correctly. So if I have this nice mic, but I leave it over here on my camera, or for example, if you're using a shotgun mic and it's on your camera, but you're really far away from the camera, then the audio is still not gonna sound good even though I'm using a mic. You wanna make sure that you keep that microphone nice and close within 6 to about 12 inches from your mouth. And of course, you can always wear it if it's a nice wireless mic like this one that, can attach to your shirt. Then when you go to edit, make sure it's not too quiet, not too loud, and that it's not too echoey. Mistake number 2 is lighting. And the most common problem I see is leaving the room lights on. So even if you have nice lighting equipment, but you leave your room lights on, it can still ruin that vibe that you're trying to achieve. Make sure to keep those room lights off. Another problem would be not using any lighting equipment at all. Now, I do have a window in here, so I am getting some light, but not using any lighting equipment or lamps or anything else in your room will tend to kind of make it feel dull and boring. And if you have no lights, you'll be tempted to turn those overhead lights on again, and this is just not the professional look that we're going for. So use nice lighting equipment. And when I say nice lighting equipment, I'm not saying expensive, I'm saying intentional. And if you want to check out some cinematic lighting setups on a budget, check out this video up here. And before we move on to the next mistake, be sure to stick around to the end because mistake number 5 is probably one of the #1 reasons why your video feels off. Mistake number 3, framing. You would be surprised how much a nice eye-level shot that's based off of the rule of thirds, which is just positioning yourself in a well-composed way, will affect how your video feels. For example, if I mess up this framing and I have the camera set too low, this is going to feel very awkward because the top of my head is too close to the frame, it's kind of being cut off. This is not good framing. But you also can't go too high because it will equally feel just as awkward because there's too much room above my head. You don't always need to put your face in the center. You want your eyes on that top third. You want to make sure that there's a little bit of space above your head. You don't want too much. You don't want to cut off your head. You want a nice, put your eyes kind of on that top third, and you don't want to be too low. Another problem I see with framing all the time is filming too close to the background. Never put yourself right up against the wall or the background of your video. Always create some space so that you can have some depth in your shot. So move off your background a little bit and create some depth behind you. Never sit right up against the wall. Mistake number 4 is the delivery. How you deliver the information is crucial for how that video feels. If I just deliver this info and I'm reading a script, so I'm just kind of going back and forth, really trying to remember all of the words that I was going to say and execute on those words specifically. So what you need to remember about delivery is that you should never forget to deliver words. So there's low energy, monotone, or reading like you're reading a script. Or there's the opposite where I'm just so excited to tell you guys about delivery and how you're going to deliver that information. It needs to match what you're talking about, and we're talking about delivery. So this needs to feel, it needs to feel like delivery. So don't be that extreme, but don't be that extreme. Match the energy and the vibe of your video and deliver the content in a way that would feel natural for whatever you're talking about. Mistake number 5, background distractions. Now this is a big one. You want to make sure that the background of your video is not messy or cluttered because this is going to distract the viewer's attention. If I just have a bunch of stuff piled on my background, you're going to be trying to kind of look past me and look at what all I've got back there. And it's gonna distract because you're gonna be like, man, that is so messy. Why didn't she clean that up before she filmed? So make sure to keep your background distraction-free and place some items strategically to make the set look nicer, like a plant or a stack of books, or like I did with only a couple of cameras. So let's get that cleaned up. Now our background looks a lot more purposeful. So if you fix these 5 things in your videos, I promise that they will start to look and feel a lot more professional. Let me know in the comments down below which one of these mistakes you have made. I know for me personally, I feel like I have made all of these at one time or another. So comment down below, let me know, or if there's other things that are tripping you up in your videos. And if you feel like you actually have a handle on these 5 mistakes and you feel like gear is your biggest struggle right now, check out this video right over here.